It is a privilege to cover this White House. It's a privilege to be the White House press secretary. And nobody has the right to go into the Oval Office and ask the President of the United States questions. That's an invitation that is given.
Oh, it's an invitation, a privilege. And again, that's exactly how the right always talked about the media and Joe Biden when he was president. Hey, everybody, back off of Joe Biden a little bit. Do you not get how privileged you are to be in that room asking Karine Jean-Pierre questions? Why don't you all just calm down a little bit? You're so lucky to be there. Stop being so harsh with her. Now, obviously, the right doesn't actually think that, but that is the stance that now Karoline Leavitt, as the official spokesperson for the Trump administration, wants you to comply with. The idea that the media is not supposed to push back. They're not supposed to ask tough questions, and they're supposed to do whatever it is that the Trump administration tells them to do. And we say that because for the second day in a row, the AP has not been allowed in to these events to actually provide tough questions of Trump, purely because they haven't gone with the Gulf of America BS, okay? They've been very clear about why that is incredibly common sense, reasonable thing to list both names. But the thing about it is the Trump administration wants full compliance. They want surrender of the media. And we have a great follow-up question. Just briefly, I wanna play. This is Kaitlan Collins of CNN asking Leavitt a question after what you just saw.
Isn't it retaliatory in nature is the argument, because the reason that the AP was barred, which they said was because they're not using the phrase Gulf of America, they're using Gulf of Mexico in line with their standards. And so the question here is this setting a precedent that this White House will retaliate against reporters who don't use the language that you guys believe reporters should use? And how does that align with the First Amendment commitment that you were just talking about?
I was very upfront in my briefing on day one that if we feel that there are lies being pushed by outlets in this room, we are going to hold those lies accountable. And it is a fact that the body of water off the coast of Louisiana is called the Gulf of America. Apple has recognized that, Google has recognized that, pretty much every other outlet in this room has recognized that body of water as the Gulf of America. And it's very important to this administration that we get that right, not just for people here at home, but also for the rest of the world.
Yeah, so again, they've acknowledged both names, and it's been 400 years that it's been the Gulf of Mexico. They have an obligation to make sure that people know what they're talking about when they talk about something. So it's not some fact. And so people pointed out, like, so you want them to be politically correct. There's certain terms that are politically correct according to the White House right now, and others that aren't. I would also say, oh, so you're saying it's important to you that the name you've chosen for it is used, and you don't want us to dead name a body of water now? Like, that's what you're freaking out. You're canceling us because we're dead naming water? So people don't deserve consideration, but Gulfs do? I don't give a damn about Gulfs, okay? I'll call it whatever the hell I wanna call it. And I love that the AP has stuck to their guns there. What do you think, Francesca?
Honestly, the AP, I wasn't expecting it to be the AP, but hashtag resistance is rising. Look, this seems like a silly story, right? It seems like a culture war story. It's absolutely not. This is a story about truth and lies. This is a story about 2 + 2 equaling 5 or equaling 4. And so the Trump administration is using the Gulf of America as a trial balloon to say, are you gonna get in line?
Yeah.
Are you gonna obey this? And if you're gonna obey this, well, then you're gonna obey everything else we're gonna say. Like Donald Trump actually did win the 2020 election, and on and on and on. And so we're gonna see a lot more of this. And so which organization is gonna actually push back?
Yeah, by the way, and that's a great comparison too, because like, what are we assuming, that they wouldn't do that? That if Kaitlan Collins doesn't say that Trump won in 2020, they wouldn't ban her from the room? They're banning for way stupider stuff than that already. They care way more about the lie that Donald Trump won in 2020 than they do about what you call a stupid Gulf or whatever. And so again, I think this is a fight that needs to be waged. I would say, and I did say yesterday, why is anyone in that room?
Right.
Again, like I know that the right-wing media would, they don't give a damn. They're bootlickers again. But like, I like Kaitlan Collins. Why are you in that room?
Totally.
Like if you believe that this is censorship, then don't participate, boycott it. And I know that it's tough because that's really drawing a line in the sand that the right they just might pack in a whole bunch of just anti-Semitic Twitch streamers or whatever, and that'll be all that the White House Correspondents' Room is. But But I don't know. I would love to see more of a fight from not just the AP.
And you know, it would bother them too, right? Because they would feel, they like that prestige. They want the prestige of the New York Times or CNN or wherever. Like they think it's prestigious. They will. I mean, they'll try to take these media organizations over. But so I totally agree with you. What are you missing? You're missing literally nothing. You're missing lies. Meanwhile, Doggy's out here, raiding everyone's bank accounts.
Thanks for watching our video. Did you know that you can support our show by becoming a subscriber? Just click the subscribe button and also ring the bell so that you get notifications when we're live or when we post new content.